Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I just have a simple fall card for you. I am using two stamp sets. I'm using the Cookie Cutter Halloween, and we're going to do the Scarecrow. And then I'm also using the Sheltering Tree set, which is one of the first stamp sets I purchased when I became a demonstrator and one of my favorites. So let me show you today's card. This is the one that we're going to create. Now we're going to change it up just a bit, but most of it will stay the same as far as the images. So for this one, I used Old Olive DSP, so the Brights Designer Series paper, and then a pumpkin pie oval, and then I did some sponging. So for the one that we are going to do now, let me turn that off. I am going to use some pumpkin pie DSP, the Brights Designer Series, and then I have our Whisper White piece that we're going to do the tree, and then I've changed the size of the oval. So I've done this in advance because I wanted to color him in. So I went down a size, so you can see here the difference. I think I'm going to like the smaller one better, and then I just kind of alternated how I colored. So for the Scarecrow, I stamped him in the Memento Tuxedo Black, and then I am using my Stamp and Write markers. So I have my Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Tip Top Taupe, and Pumpkin Pie. So I've colored him in, and then I've sponged the edges of my Whisper White oval with the Old Olive, so very lightly, you know, did I do that. And then I adhered it to my Old Olive scalloped oval. So we're ready to go with that. I'm going to set that one aside. We can adhere our DSP. So our card base is our standard A2 size. So this is, you know, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So this Designer Series paper is 4 by 5 1/4. Let's just get that centered and laid down. Okay. And then this piece of Whisper White is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So it's definitely much smaller, not a typical layer, but it's showing more of that DSP in the background. And we're going to stamp our background on this. So let me grab myself my scratch piece of paper. And I have my stamps ready to go. So we're going to do the ground from the Sheltering Tree, so you can see that here. And we're going to stamp that in the Tip Top Taupe. Let me find that. Okay. And I'm going to put my piercing mat underneath us. I find that this is one of those sets, especially for the tree, that requires that extra cushion. Not so much for some of the other images in there, but just so I don't forget, I'm going to leave it in there. Okay. And then we're just going to make our own ground. So I'm just going to stamp this a few times, just continuing to layer, and I'm overlapping a little bit, so I'm just building my ground. So you could use whatever neutral color you have in your collection. There's many of our neutrals that would work here. Okay, let me see. Let me set that aside. I'm just going to kind of eyeball. I think I'll go one more. I want it to be high enough that my tree is touching the ground. Okay. And this side's going to be covered a little bit by the oval, but I'll just fill that up a bit. Okay. Let me close up my ink. Now to stamp the tree, we're going to use the Early Espresso. And again, I'm stamping in the upper left-hand side. Whoops. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me get that out of my way. I always tend to put my hands in the Early Espresso for some reason. Okay. Make sure I'm straight here. Okay, and then I'm just going to give that a nice hold and a little pressure to make sure I get a nice crisp tree. Okay. Alright, so now we are going to use the leaf. So this is kind of an extra, this is the main leaves that go over the entire tree. I'm going to use this little one to kind of make my own leaves. So I'm going to start, I'm going to use all three of my colors that I used in the card. So I'm going to use Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie, and Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start with my Old Olive. And we're just going to stamp this around here. So just like there's a little bit of leaves left on our tree falling off, okay? And I can't quite reach my stamping scrub. Let me just alternate things around here a bit. Okay. So we did our Old Olive. Now we'll bring in the Pumpkin Pie. And you can see I'm stamping this in a different direction than I did the Old Olive, just to give it a little bit more fullness. Okay. And then we're going to bring in our Daffodil Delight. Some of these are a little wet. When you do this, just give yourself a couple minutes to let the colors dry. I think I can make it. Okay, so just like that. Let me set my ink pads there. I can see my Early Espresso is still a little wet. Let me pull that out of my way. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this again up to the upper left. And then we're going to leave our Scarecrow down here. So I actually like that. I like this much better with the smaller ovals. Okay, let's get some snail on this. Give that a nice little border. You could even sponge the edges of this layer as well. I actually thought of that when I was doing the first one. And now with our Scarecrow, I am going to pop him up with a few dimensionals. Alright. Very good. Okay, I like that. And so it'd be totally up to you if you wanted to put a sentiment in here on the front, you totally could. I'm actually going to stamp on the inside of the card. So there are a few sentiments in the Sheltering Tree set, so you could just pick whichever one makes the most sense for you. I think we're going to do You Warm My Heart. And I think we'll stamp that in the Pumpkin Pie just to continue with the color from the front of the card. So let's open that. All right, so that is today's project. Super cute, perfect for the fall season. It's definitely a little cold and fallish here. Oh, and let me show you real quick. I meant to do this, I'm sorry. Show you the ovals that I used. So on the card we just created, I used the, I guess, second largest scalloped one from this side. And then the circle, let me just get this on here a little better. Your fourth largest circle from this corner of our framelit. So again, like I've said before, it's an awesome set. You get a lot of options with sizes, so it's great to have in your collection. So if you do want to purchase any of the products that we used in today's project, please visit me at theirishscrapper.stampinup.net. I would love to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. And if you're interested in joining my team, it's a great time to do so. You can also do that by visiting my link in the description below, and I will put it on the screen as well. And I look forward to being back with you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.